we have all the rights that goes with that license, so that's not a problem. Okay, so we've got a license, we've got a drone, what are we gonna do? I already told you some things you can do. There are a lot of people out there who will pay you to take pictures. And I don't necessarily mean big companies, because they're hiring, but you have to be willing to travel. I'm not. You have to be willing to settle for whatever they want. I'm not. I do this more for fun than anything else. But say this drone is paid for the others. I've taken pictures of houses, not for real estate, for people. There's a guy that comes around here every 2 or 3 years and tries to drum up business, taking pictures of your house at the tune of about $500 something. He's flying a fixed wing, so you can't get down close enough to get a good shot. He's got a big property, it's good. But I don't know about you, but I'm not giving anybody $500 to take a picture of my house. I'll get up on a step ladder up on a tree first. But for something like this, you can. I figure I can go out for $50 and shoot for a half hour, which is about what my batteries will give me. Okay, that's pretty good money. I am retired, so I'm not living on that. But even if you had to live on it, still, I think the average for most of the big drone companies, they're getting anywhere from $150 on up. But a lot of them do motion pictures, and that really demands money. Now, I do video, but I don't know. Tell this thing to be quiet. I normally say shut up, I was trying to be nice to you folks. There is as many different things out there. I drive down the road and I look and I see a car dealer who rearranges cars, and I picture what it looks like from the air. I'll go out and talk to them, see if I can get permission to take a picture. I'll go take the picture, I'll give them a copy. I give them my card. I usually get a call back, can I come and do the other showrooms, things like that. Roof inspections. Folks out in Waco called me to go and inspect the roof from the air, so they didn't have to go out and send 2 guys up on the roof. He told me he saved several $100s by doing that. And I was able to do it again on one battery. That's about 20 to 25 minutes. Would have taken them a couple hours to do the full inspection plus the travel time. So anything you can think of that you would like to get a picture of, somebody else would probably like that picture. The insurance industry, that's a hard one to get into, but sometimes they will have you take pictures. I've gone out and taken pictures of accidents, really messy ones. Always get permission to do it from the police. That's their house as far as I'm concerned when you're doing that one. But the insurance companies would love to have pictures like that. Yes, you have to fly and take a chance they'll buy it, but you know what? I love to fly. I think most of you folks will love to fly too. Wait till you get something bigger and get outside. You'll have even more fun. How much money can you make with a drone license? Depends on how much you want to make. Like I say, I'm retired. I don't have to work. I love to work. That's why I'm still moving. I love to fly. To me, that's a good match. The last paying job I had was probably about 2 months ago. And I'm comfortable with that. Of course, there's been terrible weather between then and now too, so I wouldn't have gone out. Let me go back to the safety aspect. Okay. These things go fast, the props. These big ones, and this isn't even a big one, this is well under 55 pounds. My license allows me to fly a drone up to 55 pounds. That's pretty big. Or hanging things under it, to take other cameras. They're dangerous. If you hit something, these are plastic, they can break, and they become shrapnel. They fly out and hit other things. So you need to make sure where you are. That's why I have the cones. I block my truck off. I usually fly out of the back of my truck. You mark it off who it is. You don't let people come in. But one other thing I didn't mention, and you already know if you're flying a drone at all, line of sight. That means you, the pilot in command, can see your aircraft. When you get into these size, you can have a crew member who has line of sight and direct radio communications, not with amateur radio. This has to be something quicker. We don't have to worry about it. Cell phones are good for that. They can see the aircraft. You can rely on them. but you always want to know where your aircraft is. If you get it behind a tree, you're wrong. You need to see where it is. Because behind that tree, the wind blows, or if there's a kid down there throwing rocks, or whatever. That's more of a safety thing. It's a legal thing too, but a safety thing. Pre-flights, post-flights. Post-flight is another thing. That's just as important as a pre-flight. When I fly this thing, when I land, I'm putting it away. I'll make it put away and take it home, and then I check it, because I may have made a hard landing and cracked the strut. The strut's not going to affect its flying. But if I land again, I don't have to land hard to break it, and then it's down the ground, the blade breaks, goes off and hits something or somebody. So those things are important on that. Even though it's commercial, have fun. I don't think I have to tell you folks that. You fly for fun now. If you're not having fun, why are you doing it? You don't have to do it. Now, in my case, if I accept a job, I have to do it. It's even better when I'm having fun doing it. I think I've covered basically what commercial is, how to get the license, how to keep it renewed. I know I've covered safety several ways. I don't know, I have a few minutes left. Can I ask the questions? Any questions? And keep it simple,
That
please.
$150 that you pay to get your license, and you said you have to renew it every 2 years, so it's another $150 when you renew it?
That's why I'm probably not taking mine until the 1st of January, or the beginning of January.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you said you
now,
have to
if
be
you-
16 to take the, to
You
get a
have to
license?
be 16 to take the license. Now, there are people who go out and get the license, and they're paying to take the test. You can do all that, but you're not gonna get a license. To me, that's a waste of money. You can study the law without having to take that test. And if you're gonna fly recreationally, you don't need the license.
Oh, okay. That's-
So, you know, now there are some new rules out there for the recreational flyers. They're gonna be restricted from certain places. I'm restricted. I cannot fly on post. I cannot fly over prisons. Wonder why I can't take anybody up with this thing. You can't fly over infrastructure. I take pictures of railroad trains all the time. I don't fly directly over them. I'm at least 50 feet on either side of the right of way, because it's illegal to fly over that. That's infrastructure. You can't fly, you're not supposed to fly over bridges, power plants, anything like that, because the bad guy always wins. You know, people get out there and they make problems. That's why we have to go through metal detectors in the airport. That's why we have to do, you know, they've done something stupid. That's why I say, if you do something and I know about it, I'm gonna talk to you, but I'm also gonna turn you in, because you're gonna mess it up for everybody else who's doing it the right way. That's not a threat, folks, honest. That's more of a promise. Okay, so be professional if you're gonna fly professionally.
So if you're doing it recreational, like him, if he wants to do, you know, just fly it and stuff, you still have to register the drone? Like he's got a drone that he got for Christmas last year. Does he have to register that drone?
They had a weight restriction on that, and the thing is, I honestly don't know the current rules for recreational flying. But it's best to register. You know, if nothing else, if something happens, you say, hey, I'm registered.
But you don't have to be 16 to register.
No. The 16 is for the commercial
Better
license.
commercial.
13.
13? Well, he's not 13 yet, so I guess he can't.
Both can do it.
Well, yeah, see, if he's flying with somebody else, I could take anybody here that's not licensed. You could fly with me on a commercial mission and be perfectly legal, as long as I'm there where I can take the control away if something goes wrong. You know, it's like a student driver. They can drive as long as there's a licensed driver in the car. So there's a lot of loopholes in like anything, but if you go after the loopholes, you'll finally get caught in them. So there's a lot of things like that. Any other questions? Sir?
How much, if you don't mind me asking, did the drones on the table there cost? And what kind of an investment do you recommend for beginners like Martin here?
I've heard some of the prices that I've heard, and they're nowhere near what these are. This one here was, I had $1,850 in it. New they sold for 20-something, $2,000. This particular one goes for more. This one is 25 to 27, just the basic, the aircraft, a battery, and a controller. Okay. That one was about $35, and it was a gift. So,
That sounds good.
these unfortunately were not gifts, but this one here is my baby. This is paid for this one and a lot of other things, so. And I don't pursue this as a full-time job. This is just the occasional job. The fun job I'm doing is somebody says, can I get copies of that? I said, well, I don't want to do that. I'll pay for them. Yes, you can. So, but yeah, it can be expensive. The drone I would love to have is about $42,000.
Oh, goodness.
So obviously, I'm never gonna have that, because for $42,000, I can get something a lot more useful.
Right?
And I know I said commercial, these are toys to me. I don't treat them like toys, but they're, you know, they're a hobby. So, just this is a hobby that can pay for itself. That other one would have to be, I'd have to be pushing that one 40 hours a week, just to feel right about it, having it.
Right.
So, anyone else? Easy crowd,
Okay.
okay?